Peace. This is part two of my social rant on life, society, and things of that nature. Um, I just want to say I apologize for anybody that if I offended, that's not my intention. My intention is to just give you my views on how I see. That was the phone. If you guys heard that, I apologize. Um, you know, see my views on society and how shit is just fucked up. You know what I mean? But when I was doing the rant, my camera um just stopped because it only could take like 30 minutes of footage. So this is like a continuation of this. But anyways, I was talking about I left off on police officers, like how not all of them, but you got some that are assholes that like to take the law in their hands. They like to abuse the law, and that shit ain't right. And my thing is that it's just the responsibility of the citizens, whether you live in Mexico or wherever country you live at, or here in America, is for you to learn about law. What's like the rights that we have, and a lot of people are not doing that, including me. That I'm gonna definitely try to look up some law, like some rights that we do have, like unwritten rights that we have. You know what I mean? And I think that's important for people to know. You know what I mean? Another thing that pisses me off about people is ageism. That really doesn't get a lot of I mean, obviously racism is a problem, but ageism too. And what I mean by that is excuse me. And what I mean by ageism is prejudice towards people's ages. Whether it's the young people knocking down the older folks, or the older folks knocking down the younger people. Like, for example, I get it all the time, and it kind of pisses me off. Like, I mean, I know they. No, I don't want to make excuses sort of, but they don't know any better. They're getting no. They do know better. They should know better. Like for example, like there'll be times like I'll go out and buy vinyl or something like that, or I'll buy movies, like certain horror movies or certain movies that I like, because I like a lot of old school, when it old school stuff, like whether it's music or movies or things of that nature. And sometimes they'll have people like, oh, what you know about that? You that's before your time, blah blah blah. But you should be happy as a young man, me as a young man, to really appreciate that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's like it's ridiculous, and vice versa. Like you got old younger kids saying the same thing. Like oh, you too old. You're not hip enough or anything. Like, how do you know? Maybe that person might know more than you. Like it's my thing is, the whole point is you can learn from each other. Is my thing. The older people could learn from the younger generation. The younger generation could you know could could learn from the older generation. And the thing is too, that really a lot of times, that's a lot affects a lot in the African American community, in the black community, I should say, is because, especially in that culture, because a lot of black black people from the older generation always look down upon the younger generation. Which I could understand to a certain degree, because the way kids are nowadays, because there's a lot of knuckleheads out there that really don't care about shit. They just worry about getting the bus, who they gonna fuck next, or just trying to make this money, blah blah blah. They just worried about that. They just worry about stupid shit, materialistic shit, that oh, what clothes, what sneak, oh man, I can't wait to buy the next Jordans. I can't wait to get the new eights. Stupid shit like that. Like, but at the same time, it's like, as an older person, it's your responsibility to teach the younger people. Yeah, I understand there's younger people that are very hard to deal with, but you have to like really not get on their level, but like really try a different approach. Don't criticize them. Just be like, yo, why don't you do this? Like, that's cool what you're doing, but why don't you check this part out? And anything, and the same thing with the younger people. Younger people shouldn't knock. I mean, especially in the black community, like in the black community, like the older people. I mean, the younger people dissing the older people, but they were there before you, so it would be you don't have to agree with what they're saying, but at least hear them out is my thing. That's one thing that really bothers me is ageism, sexism too. Like that doesn't really get talked a lot about. I mean, it gets talked a lot about, but it seems like it gets raised towards women. It's like whether it's in the like in the court systems or like in society, like for example, which pisses me off a lot. I've been seeing that a lot lately with women, that they'll accuse, like they'll have sex with a man, but then they'll try to accuse the man of raping her, which really didn't happen. You know what I mean? I've been seeing that a lot in the news, and which really ticks me off because it's like, yo, like and it's fucked up because I feel like the man in society today doesn't really get a lot of respect in a way. What I'm saying? Like they don't get a lot of respect in society. Like, oh, because just because a woman says it, they're automatically gonna believe her because they think that she's innocent. And it's fucked up. And then because that happened before. That always happens. You know what I mean? And then that man ends up going to jail. And like I feel like this justice system really isn't fair. It's not fair and balanced. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. Same thing goes with the male. Like in the workforce, like they like you have asshole managers, male managers. Because you have a lot of them. They think that they go out. They go because they run in the store. And they see like their employee, like they might have some cute employees, but like they feel like, oh, because I'm a boss, I could do what I want. And then it's like, it's like then it goes a lawsuit. You know what I mean? And look what happened to Herman Cain. You know what I mean? That stupid ass motherfucker. You know what I mean? It's like shit like that. My thing is have respect for both sexes. We're all one creed, and one creed. We all cut. We cut ourselves. We bleed red. You know what I mean? We're all human. We need to stick together. It's shit like that that kind of pisses me off. That needs to be addressed. Another thing that really gets me is religion. Okay, let me say this. Let me explain why. I'm a Christian, okay, but I'm not the most. I'm not the most over religious Christian. I respect it. You know what I mean, but like I'm the type of person, like I'm not really into church. Like I don't see the in my mind you, this is my opinion. I just don't see the need to go to church every Sunday. That's just me. Or I don't know. That's just me. Like I personally get bored in church. Like it's like it's not. I mean, it's good. Like it's good to know. Because religion, it teaches you moral values and stuff like that. But it's just. But my thing is I don't like when people force feed other religions to other people. Not everybody's gonna believe your beliefs. You know what I mean? But that's what makes America great. Unlike other countries, like like in other countries, they'll if you don't believe in ever like it, that's how it used to be back in the day. Like in the in the Middle Ages, like in the 1400s, like you know if you didn't believe in a religion, like because other countries were into the whole theocracy, where the church ruled the people, like they had political ties and stuff like that, things like that. But if you didn't believe in a certain religion that you were like in the town that you were in, you were killed. And I feel like that's messed up. That's not the way to go things. Or if you don't believe in somebody else's religion, you're criticized. Hear the reason why they don't believe it. I mean, you might not agree, but just hear them out. You might learn something. But I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna say change your ways, but just hear them out. And it's like, and I kind of feel like with the Christian religion is that well, because you have some Christians that are extremists. You understand? And it's like, I think it's messed up. But like with the KKK, I feel like they were Christian extremists. And it's like that needs to be appointed too. That needs to be addressed too. Because I noticed that on the news. You see a lot of people demonizing Arabs, thinking that all Arabs are Muslims. Not all Arabs are Muslims. You got Arab people that are Christians. It's rare, but they do have them. You know what I mean? And my thing is, we're all people. It's the same God, but people got different views. The thing with religion for me is too opinionated. That's why I don't like talking about religion with people. You know what I mean? Because it just gets nowhere, and then people just have their views, and then it just starts getting into arguments and shit like that. And I don't like it. I feel like life is hard enough. You know what I mean? We just stick together. Just help one another, and that's how I see it. Excuse me, drink. I guess. Yeah, my thing is, and there's nothing wrong with having a religion. I have no problem with that. But my thing is the whole force feeding thing. Let the person, let the person, find out their way in a religion. That's just me. That's just my opinion. Um, yeah, and like I don't like the fact that religion is being put in politics. Because for one, especially in this country, because for one, America is a melting pot, literally. I mean, you got people of all races, all cultures, um, all religions, and for people, for voters, not everybody has the same religious beliefs. You understand? Like you got people of, because there's a big Muslim community in the United States, as well as Catholic, as Yiddish, Yiddish religion, the Yiddish religion, Christians, evangelicals, Baptists. So for me, I feel like religion should be a separate thing from politics. You know what I mean? Because not everybody's gonna have the views of of that candidate. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. And it's like you know and another thing that pisses me off too is like with the whole Obama shit. Because his name is Obama Hussein Obama, but he's not Muslim. People keep saying he's Muslim. He's not Muslim. Again, like I said about the Arab people, you got Arabs that are Arab, but they're not Muslim. There's just because that's like saying, black people, from Haiti, they all do voodoo, and voodoo is a religion, and that's not the case. Cause I'm Haitian and I don't do voodoo. I don't know how to do that shit. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's a stereotype. It's a shit like that. That people need to. My thing is people need to educate themselves. It's my thing. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, man. There's a lot of things. Oh, another thing that pisses me off too. I be seeing that shit on Facebook, and as well as like rappers and celebrities. This whole obsession with the Illuminati, that shit needs to stop too, um, because when like rappers like Prodigy, Onyx, Jedi Matrix, people like that was talking about that in the '90s. Nobody paid attention. When you heard the popular mainstream commercial artists start talking about it, now you guys pay attention, and it's like, it's like you got people always saying, "Oh, the Illuminati, Illuminati, Illuminati." Like, shut the fuck up. Like, like, first and foremost, the Illuminati do not give a fuck about you. Okay, I mean, there's so much information about the Illuminati. Like, if you go on YouTube, you type in Illuminati, there's gonna be a whole shitload of shit about the Illuminati, and you think that they're not gonna have those stuff. Hold on. Apologize. You don't think that the stuff on the Illuminati and YouTube would have been shut down? Of course, that they would have been shut it down. So I mean, whether or not, I mean, the government, they were controlled anyways. So who gives a fuck? My thing is like, try to live life to the fullest. Stop worrying about that shit. You know what I mean? That's just me. That's just my opinion. It's just things like that. I feel like this country doesn't really have a culture of its own. Besides the Native Americans. But and well, let me scratch that. I feel like we do have a culture, and our culture is music. Excuse me. This stupid dog, man. Apologize, it's barking for no reason. But yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, the Illuminati. The whole Illuminati thing. Get off of that. They don't really care about you. You just, you just live your life. You have other things to worry about. Like bills. Car loans or whatever. Make sure you have food in your stomach, clothes on your back, and a roof on the top of your head. Things like that. That's just things you need to worry about. I mean, it's good to know about that stuff, the Illuminati and stuff like that. But don't get too caught up in that, because it'll just make you go crazy. You know what I mean? The whole microchip. I haven't seen it yet. I'm pretty sure it's out there, but who cares? That's just me. I don't care about that. Yeah, man. Oh yeah, I was talking about culture. Yeah, excuse me, I rambled up. I feel like this country doesn't really have a culture. Um, as far as like the only culture thing I could really identify with this country is music, and when it comes to like hip hop, rock. That's the only culture that I see from this country. Other than that, this country doesn't really have its own culture. You know what I mean? Everything is, the culture in this country is just materialistic bullshit. You know what I mean? Like if you go to other countries like Spain or France, they have their own culture. You know, they have different cultures. It's just it's diverse. Like here, everything is just grab cultures, grab everything from different cultures, but it's not really their own. It's just like a melting pot. You know what I mean? It's like cooking soup. You know what I mean? But yeah. I'm trying to think what else I could talk about. I mean, there's so much things that I want to talk about, but I guess that's it. I can't think of anything. On the top of my head. I mean, I'm pretty sure like when I turn this off, that I'm definitely gonna say some. I'm thinking of something that I wanted to say, but I forgot, and stuff like that. You know, um, Bottom line is be yourself. Oh, yeah. There's another thing that popped up. Um, Children having no respect for their parents. Um, that really 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 pisses me off, because I see a lot of kids today talking back to their parents, and I don't know, man. Like I'm 24 years old, but even I don't do that to my mom. You know what I mean? My mom don't play. You know, you understand? Like, yeah, I might argue with my mom. Like, no, I don't agree with you, but you don't talk back. Like, I see, especially kids young as 8 years old, especially like in stores. Like, they, no, mom, you shut up. No, 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 no. Like, whoa, like that was me. I wouldn't be alive today. Like, my face will go across the room. That's how, like, kids have no respect for their parents, and that's because of the parents. Again, like I mentioned before, the parents don't really discipline their kids. They just be like, okay, they don't do that. Time out. Like that's gonna no beat their ass. But I mean, obviously don't abuse, don't OD. Like beat them to the point that don't do that again. No, stop crying. Just think things like that. Because I knew a neighbor of mine that used to live down the street from me. She moved. Um, I mean there'd be times like there's their youngest son. Her youngest son would have tantrums because he didn't want to go to school, and it's like it's ridiculous. Like, and the kid would run the house pretty much. Whatever he says goes. Like if he doesn't have his way, he have a tantrum and they can't take it anymore. Okay, okay, you win. No, fuck that. No, beat that little nigga's ass, yo. Let him learn. No, you need to take your little ass to school. You know what I'm saying? And these parents, they just spoil these kids, man. It's like that's why a lot of kids today are the way they are because of the parents. It falls back to the home. Because kids don't have no respect for authority. Although sometimes authority, they take things a little bit too far. They want to be too controlling. It's good to have rules, but don't be abusive on them. This is my thing. You know what I mean? That shit really pisses me off. And then like another thing too, like a lot of young people are getting pregnant. Early now. You know what I mean? Which is ridiculous. Again, falls back to the parents. It's how you brought up your kids. You guys need it in the homes. You guys need to, you know, teach your kids about sex education. Same thing with the schools, but it's like I don't know, man. It's like it seems like parents become like little kids when it talks about they turn into little kids. They get all shy and shit like that. Like, oh, they're not too ready. Like, well, when are they gonna be ready? I remember the school I went to in New York, Thomas Edison. There was a controversy. About how the school was giving out free condoms to students, and people was like, "Oh, you're promoting sex, blah 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 blah." But the thing is, with teenagers today, they're gonna do what they want anyways. You know what I mean? Because parents, they can't be with them 24 hours a day. They have to grow up. You understand? But like I said, it's all about how you discipline your kids and how you trust and put in trust your kids. You understand? Give them a reason to. I mean, the same thing goes with the children. Children need to prove themselves to the parents that you need to give them a reason for your parents to trust you. You know what I mean? Don't do stupid shit. You know what I mean? A lot of these kids just think they know it all and stuff like that, but they really don't. And it goes back to my argument about the younger generation dissing the old generation. You know what I mean? It's just things like that. Like I said, back to sex education. I think that needs to be talked about. Because I was talked about that when I was like maybe 12 years old. My mom, she was very explicit, but it was like she told me about AIDS and all these type of diseases, and like it made me aware, like, damn, like to the point I really didn't want to have sex and shit like that. You know what I mean? But you just gotta protect, and you just gotta end it. Not only that, but there's a lot of diseases and stuff like that. You know, a lot of people, a lot of people getting pregnant too early, man, and like they really don't know the fundamentals of being a mom, And then like another thing that pisses me off too is that they'll say like they always like to blame the man on the situation, like oh just because just because you get a girl pregnant doesn't make you a father. That's true too, but vice versa too. Just because you're a mom, you carry a seed for 9 months doesn't make you a mom either. You know, it's how you carry yourself. It's how you are you willing to take care. By the way, I don't respect deadbeat dads. I don't respect deadbeat moms too, because there's a lot of those too. But it seems like the attention is more towards to the men, and that's not right. Because I've seen a lot of moms out there too that are very irresponsible. You know what I mean? I hate that shit. And it's vice versa to the dads too. And because of the deadbeat dads, men are not taken seriously. You know what I mean? They just think that all men are just like are equal, and we're not all equal. We're all different human beings. Same thing with the women. Not every woman are the same. Women are different. You know what I mean? So, things like that. You know what I mean? And I think I'm gonna cut that off because I don't want to keep rambling. Those are my thoughts on society. Let me know what you guys think. Again, um, I'm not here to offend anybody. It's just my thoughts. This is my thoughts. This is how I feel. If you feel offended, I apologize. I'm sorry, but it's just my thoughts. Like I said, it's my opinion. I'm not saying certain things are facts and some things are opinions. That's what they call opinions. Doesn't mean I'm right. I could be wrong. Doesn't mean I'm wrong. It's an opinion. You know what I mean? So hope you guys could gather some gems from that. And hope you enjoyed that. Peace.